Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, remember Liam Fox's claim that those 40 EU trade deals with third countries will all be safely rolled over for the UK by this week? Well, as we already know, the Trade Department's only managed to sign 8 of them. But Newsnight has discovered that even those 8 deals the Trade Department's managed to get over the line are not quite as comprehensive as advertised. Our economics editor, Ben Chu, is here. Just talk us through that, Ben. Why not?
Yeah, so as you said, Emily, the EU has 40 free trade deals with countries ranging from Switzerland to South Africa to South Korea. And of course, the UK, as a member of the EU currently, benefits from all those. But if we left the EU with no deal, we would not benefit from those, which is why the government's made it one of its priorities to try and roll over these deals. So we will continue to benefit from these arrangements no matter what. Liam Fox a couple of years ago said this would be a pretty easy job. He predicted that there would be 40 of these deals all lined up to be rolled over by tomorrow. In fact, as you mentioned, we know there's only going to be about 8 ready by tomorrow. But Newsnight has further bad news because we've been digging into these 8 deals along with a group called the UK Trade Policy Observatory. And we've discovered...
So these are the countries, these are the deals that they've signed up so far. Yeah.
And we've dug into these and we've had a look and we've discovered that there's even questions about the extent to which these actually deliver the same benefits as previous trade arrangements.
Our research suggests that saying that this trade agreement has been completely rolled over might be misleading. Businesses should be aware that there are some grey areas where trade could be disrupted. The government should be careful in saying that trade will continue as smooth as it was before.
So what does he mean then, grey areas? What's he actually talking about?
Well, the one thing, the most important concept to get into mind is the rules of origin. Now, this is a feature of trade agreements whereby the stipulation is to benefit from zero tariffs. The inputs have to be from that country which is doing the exporting. So let's think about this in the context of the UK-Switzerland trade deal, which has been rolled over. So it's fine for the UK to export to Switzerland tariff-free. But a problem arises if that importer in Switzerland decides he wants to re-export that UK good to somewhere else in the EU. Now, that could run into tariff wars. Why is that? Well, it's because it's got UK inputs. The EU would not have a trade agreement with the UK. Right. Therefore, the tariffs would be applicable. And the danger is that the Swiss importing company could decide, well, we're not going to source our inputs from the UK anymore because those goods were going to face tariffs when we re-export them. There is another feature of this analysis, though, Emily. It's called mutual recognition agreements. The EU-Swiss agreement had 20 of these mutual recognition agreements. This is about standards, certification, etc. But the UK-Swiss one only has 3 of them. And some quite important areas are left out, such as medical devices and building materials. So, again, the threat is that UK companies which export those kind of things to Switzerland could have to fill out a lot of forms, could be quite time-consuming, quite costly.
So when you say costly, what's the overall effect of this on the bottom line?
Well, the bottom line is I think that companies which have taken the assurances of ministers that we have successfully rolled over at least these 8 deals could be quite misleading, and actually they could have an unwelcome surprise coming if these ever did come into effect.
You must have talked to the government about this. What's been the response so far from them? Yeah,
so ministers have released a statement to us, and they said, I think it's going to come up on screen now, they said that Switzerland has committed to working with us to roll over or replicate the few remaining arrangements as soon as we've confirmed the nature of our future relationship with the EU. Now, you'll notice, Emily, that effectively concedes that this UK-Switzerland deal is not exactly the same as the one that preceded it.
Ben, thank you very much indeed.
I've been getting away